What formation should you coach for better team performance? We're going to look at 5v5s quickly. Next couple of videos, we're going to do 7v7, 9v9. We looked at 3v3 in the last one, didn't we? And about some changes to the game. But I just want to focus on 5v5. So you might have an age group of around 7, 8 years old, in and around that anyway. Let's look at a couple of things. I'm going to put a very simple 2-2 there, and we're going to look at a 2-1-1. Let's just talk about those two for a second. Both have their merits. Generally speaking, it depends on how long your team's been together, what understanding do the players have. Let's look at this one quickly. 2-2. You look at 2-2 and you go, well, balance. And the irony for me with 2-2 is the imbalance of it, because there's imbalance dangers. It looks okay at 2-2, but if one of these guys isn't really understanding their role and positioning very well, which is very understandable at this young age, you could find they're out of position very quickly and you'll have a situation where they're isolated. So a 2-2 has its problems from the get-go, so to speak. The other issue is 2 and 2, how rigid are they or flexible are they with their positioning? And again, that only comes with coaching and time, right? But if I was doing a 2-2, I'd want the understanding and the flexibility of support like this. This one pushes forward, they go in. This one then, they lose possession. This one then comes back in. This one tucks in. And it's always moving around. But a 2-2 only works with a really good understanding for me. It's good if it works. 2-1-1, you could say that the pros are that you've got this kind of balance across the pitch from defense to midfield to attack. How well, again, are your defenders working? And are your midfield players or player and striker, are they isolated? You do worry about that a little bit, don't you? So as long as this player is supportive, this one can come in and support on the attack. Again, you can very quickly change the dynamic to have a balanced approach on the offensive, so to speak. The issue I have with it is the gaps here and that there isn't really a good combination play between your players. And they kind of, what do 5v5 age group really take in during a game? That's the question I would ask. How well does your team listen? Because young kids have challenges to listen and understand, and that's fine because they're young and they're learning. But what are you expecting in a 2-1-1 from your players to really flow with? I'm not convinced it's the easiest approach. The one that I would choose if I was doing it is just switch it around and I would do a 1-2-1. Again, it depends on your team, right? I like it because I can very clearly articulate to the players that I have on the pitch what their roles are, okay? Obviously, we have a goalie, we have a defender, we have a striker, and we have two midfielders. And all I'm asking the defender to do is defend. And all I'm asking the striker to do is try and score. Obviously, lots of movement, lots of stuff that we can coach with individual play. But from a tactical positioning point of view, I'm really simplifying the roles for these two. I don't want the striker coming into the defensive half, really. I want them as an outlet option at all times. I want them to be everywhere in that half. They're small pitches. And the idea is to, get this guy and other players to come into this play and have an opportunity to shoot. But going back to these two, it's very clear where they have to go, which then leads you to coach the two in the middle. And I would get your midfielders to understand the roles in both halves. How do you coach these two in the defensive half? And how do you coach these two in the attacking half? And it's that simple. The next part, what do you do in possession? What do you do out in possession? So from a 5v5 point of view, for a young child that's learning the game, possibly their first experience of football matches, I think you should keep everything you do as simple as possible. Can we describe the game in a simple way? Yes, we can. You're a defender, you're a striker, and you guys, this is what you're going to do when you're in your defensive half, and this is what you're going to do when you're in the striking half. It's as simple as that. So from a balanced and simplicity perspective, I like the diamond shape for 5v5. What do you think, though? Is there another formation that you prefer? If so, why? What are the challenges that you have with 5v5, apart from someone looking up at the bird flying across because their concentration isn't great? What do you do that works? What do you do that you're really struggling with? Put it in the comments. The next video we do is the 7v7 breakdown, and after that we'll do the 9v9 breakdown. See you soon.